it will take an airplane crashing and killing hundreds of people for them to change this crazy policy of DIE. I don't know if did you misspell it on purpose, which it should be DEI. Do you believe that women and minority pilots are inherently less intelligent and less skilled than white male pilots?
No, I'm just saying that we should not lower the standards for them.
Yeah, 100% agree with this too.
Okay. But there's no evidence that standards are being lowered when it comes to the airline industry.
You've repeatedly said that there's no evidence that standards are being lowered, and watch the replies showing all the evidence that it is.
Replies, though, on social media or on Twitter are not necessarily fact and evidence.
No,
that's people's opinion.
They will cite all the replies. In the replies to this, you will see how often the information is cited, showing that indeed there are significant cases where standards are lowered.
And I do hope that happens. I do hope that happens, and I look forward to it. And as you said, if you're wrong, then you're wrong, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm glad we're having this conversation, debating. This is what we should be doing, debating the issue. So if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and then that'll be proven in the thing, and you as well.
Trying to make everything a race issue is, I think, divisive and corrosive to society.
Even as it relates to trans issues, which is what I'm.
Yeah, race or gender or whatever.
You think that society blames everything on racism now?
It blames a lot of things on it, and
not everything.
Yeah.
You think that's unfair?
Yeah.
Why?
I think we should not make this a constant subject. I think we need to move on. I think we just treat people like people.
You don't agree that this country was founded on racism and founded on slavery and in many ways inequities that still continue on to this day?
I think every country at that time, and I think even today, was extremely racist. Every country.
That's history.
And obviously slavery was present in about half of this country. Was not present in the North. There was racism for sure, but I think we want to look to the future rather than the past, and instead of engaging in constant rehashing of the past, because in fact, if you look at history, if you study history broadly, everyone was a slave. Everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Well, not everyone was a slave.
No,
but
everyone was a slave.
Okay, but
we are all descended from slaves.
Yeah.
Well, all of us.
Yeah.
It's just a question of when. Was it more recent or less recent? That's it.
Right.
But what future do we want? Is this something we want to make a part of our constant dialogue forever, or do we want to say, like, let's just move on and treat everyone, according to just who they are as an individual?
This is so true. What I think he's trying to say is, you hurt my feelings. You did something bad towards me, and now I'm hurt. And I did something bad towards you because I am hurt from what you did. And then you are doing something bad towards me because I hurt you because what you did to me previously. And this cycle will never end if we will just keep hurting each other. Because the next generation gonna inherit that pain, and the cycles are gonna go on and on and on and on. It's like eye for an eye, If eye for an eye will be the key, the whole world will be blind. And I don't think that's an answer to fixing issues. I think the answer is to working on this together, start blaming past, and looking for the future.
I agree with you with that. That's the ideal. But what the evidence shows is that that's not what's actually in practice.
I think we're doing better than anywhere else.
That's true. I agree with that. But that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean a lot to a whole lot of people who aren't able to take advantage of the opportunities that you were able to take advantage of. Simply because the color.
Wait a second. What kind of advantage? Simple for what?
Your skin.
Simple for the color of your skin. So what he's saying that Elon Musk had advantage simple of having the color of his skin. Oh, this is why he became a billionaire, right? Because he's white now? Man.
What advantages did my color of my skin give me?
Well, there's an ease that you have in society that many people of color don't. you were able to come to this country voluntarily. There are many people who were not able to come to the country voluntarily. There are people who came here as slaves.
For me to come.
That was, again, that's what he said previously. Right now, it's 2024. You can't always go to the past, because if you're always going to go to the past, what's going to happen eventually? You will not going to be in the present, and if you're not going to be in the present, you will not going to be working on making yourself better. If something happened with you in the past, and let's say you had problems with your father, and you're always blaming your father for your bad life, but you're 30 years old right now, and you've been by yourself for the last 6 years, and for the last 6 years your father doesn't have anything to do with what you're doing in your life. So what's for the past 6 years, you are responsible for your own life, no one else except you. So stop blaming your father for previous mistakes that happened before. Take responsibility for your own life right now and make your life better.
And there is a legacy of slavery that still continues on. There's a legacy of racism that still continues on in this country. That's undeniable.
Well, if we keep talking about it nonstop, it will never go away.
Exactly.
If we keep making that the central thing, it will never go away.
Well, why do you believe that?
I think I'm just making a simple statement of fact. So I think we want to get away from making everything a race or a gender or whatever issue, and just treat people like individuals.
Exactly. All I'm saying is that that's not happening and is not equal for everyone. That those opportunities don't happen for everyone. And I am a living example that they don't. I know that they don't because I live it.
You've been incredibly successful.
I have been,
and
in spite of it all. But I know what I know. I've experienced what I've experienced. You haven't done that. And I cannot, I don't know what it's like to be from South Africa. I don't know what it's like to be a white man. I don't know what it's like to be a woman. I don't know what it's like to be a Latino person. I don't know that. So I wouldn't speak for them and just say, you need to move on. That's not for me to say. I believe that it would be great if the country could live up to that ideal. You think that everyone has the same opportunities in America, regardless of their...
I think it will be great if the country will live up to that ideals. You know what's wrong about this ideology? Is there is so many different people. There is so many different demographics. I'm an immigrant. There is so many different immigrants who came from different countries, who has different backgrounds, that have different problems. There is so many different genders. There is so many different sexualities. If the country would try to live to everybody else's ideals, and everybody else's ideas are so different, it will be insane. You just can't do that. It's impossible. Imagine the person trying to be nice for everyone. Imagine you trying to be nice to everyone. You would not be able to. Whatever you would think about one side is going to be upsetting and being against other side. It's impossible. The government's supposed to be working with majority, not taking small groups of people and working with the minority and ignore what majority wants. That doesn't how countries are evolving. That doesn't how countries are created in the first place. The countries are created based on the ideologies of most of the people that are similar. You can't focusing on the minority. Imagine 10 people in one room and one person are feeling hot and 9 people are feeling good with the weather, and that one person asked to put AC on so he will be okay, and those 9 people are ignoring the fact that all of them are okay with the weather and we're going to be cold if we're going to be putting AC on. We'll ignore that fact and just going to put AC on so this one person will be okay and fine with the temperature, and now there's 9 people will be not. That's not how a country works. You cannot do that. It's impossible for a country to survive. It's impossible for a country to evolve. It's impossible for a country to progress with this kind of ideologies. The same thing that Lemon said in this interview, we don't live in an ideal world. So you cannot think about this from the idealistic point of view. You have to be realistic about this. Realistic point of view, the country needs to be focusing on majority of the citizenship. That's what we want, not on the minority and upsetting the majority. Because if you will not do that, it will destroy the country.
Background and ethnicity. Do you agree?
No, I don't think everyone has the same opportunities.
Okay. So when you talk about, let's talk about trans rights. When you decided to talk about the trans rights movement, You said that it was a woke mind virus. Why do you believe the trans rights movement is a woke mind virus? What do you mean by woke mind virus?
Woke mind virus is when you stop caring about people's skills and their integrity, and you start focusing instead on gender and race and other things that are different from that. I think the woke mind virus is fundamentally racist, fundamentally sexist, and fundamentally evil.
Okay.
And
I actually agree
we've got
with
a little
this.
bit more time, so
Yeah.
you choose your question.
Okay,
carefully.
so okay, thank you for that. But I would appreciate you answering these. I think it's important that we're doing this. I think it's important to the world to hear this, especially what's going on in our country. The reason I ask you, listen, there are a whole lot of things that people maybe have questions about when it comes to transgender people. Even people who are part of the LGBTQ plus community have questions about that. But if you are a free speech absolutist, right? And that is part of the First Amendment. Also, the freedom of expression falls under that First Amendment as well. So why can't people choose to identify with the gender that they feel comfortable with, or with a use a pronoun? Isn't that part of?
No, people can choose whatever. The only thing I personally against is whatever you want to do in your life, whatever you are thinking about yourself, or whatever you choose for your life, it's your choice. But when you're trying to push your ideology to others, when you're trying to mandate, when you're trying to say to other people, listen, I think about myself this, and you're supposed to think about me too, that's where it's wrong. That's what I personally don't like about this particular topic.
I guess no, they can ask others to do whatever they feel. They can ask others to do anything. It's a different question whether they mandate that others do that thing.
Okay.
If you want to watch another clip from this episode, click right here. And if you want to watch full episode, click right here. Thanks a lot. Bye.